Hi y'all, it's Charlene from the Crafty Art Shack, and we're here today with another challenge video. So I'll tell you about that in just a few minutes, so let's get to the craft desk and get started. Alright, here we go with DIY number 1. Now for this DIY, you're going to need one of these night lights that comes from the Dollar Tree, and you want to make sure it's nice and clean. It doesn't have anything on it. I was checking to see if it had like a film on it because it had something on it. I wasn't sure what it was. Then I got gifted one of these Dollar Tree calendars, and I pulled off one of the little signs that I thought would be absolutely beautiful. And I took some of this tissue paper and cut it out. And what I'm going to do is trim up my little calendar preview little square of what the calendar pages are, and then we are going to attach this to our little sign or our little nightlight. Okay, so I cleaned my little nightlight off with some rubbing alcohol, and then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take Mod Podge and I'm going to turn it around on the plug side, and I'm going to apply my Mod Podge, and then I'm going to lay my piece of tissue paper on here, and then we'll get it all attached and we'll get it trimmed up. Now you want to make sure that you go around the edges and trim this up. Then the next thing I did is I turned it over to the other side because I put the tissue paper on the back side. Now the front side I'm going to take and put my little calendar piece on there. I'm going to put Mod Podge on it, and I'm going to center it right where I want it to be. And then I'm going to make sure it's pressed down really good. And I do take my little sponge and rub over it to make sure it is. And then we'll move to the next step. I took some jute rope that came from the Dollar Tree, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a very small bead of hot glue on here, and then I'm going to stretch this across it, and I'm going to go all the way around this, and we will see the rest of this at the final reveal. Now, this challenge is the DIY challenge 5 under $5. We have to create 5 projects under $5 each. And this month we had to use Dollar Tree decor and to create it. And it's hosted by Misty from Crafty Cove, Emily from Farm Turned Chic, and the guest host is Annalee from Annaleeashbydiy DIY. You guys go check out the description box below because the links to these ladies' channels are in there. Also, there's a link to the playlist, and you want to go check that out because there's some awesome crafters on there, just like me. Okay, here we go with DIY number 2. Now for this DIY, I took another calendar page out of the gifted calendar, so this didn't cost me anything. I took the charger plate that I did for another video, and I am going to remake this. So basically I don't have any money in this, even with the flowers that go on it and with the jute cord that goes on it. It was stuff I already had in my stash, so I didn't get charged charged anything. I didn't pay anything for this stuff. So what you see me doing here is I'm marking where I want this to sit in the center of my plate. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that all of this there's nothing that's going to come off. So I take some really rough grit sandpaper and I'm peeling up as much of this bunny and stuff that I can. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Rust-Oleum Linen White Chalk paint, and I'm going to go over this after I've sanded everything that would come off and I wiped it down. Now I'm going to go back and just touch this up with some white paint because I want my calendar piece to pop, and those are sometimes real thin, so you want to make sure that you don't see anything from the back side. Now I went to the kitchen and got a smaller plate and put it on there to cut out my circle, and I traced it out. Now this is nice and dry and I'm ready to put it on. So I'm going to put a coat of Mod Podge down onto the plate, and then once I get it where I want it, I'm going to take my little brayer and make sure I push out all the little bubbles and stuff that get up underneath this, and make sure this is nice and flat on my piece. Then once I got done with that, I took this jute rope and I went around the edges of it. And now what you see me doing is I'm taking some of these flowers that were left over from another DIY that I did, and I'm going to add them to the top of this project. And I'm going to add a bow, and we will see the rest of this at the final reveal. Now here we go with DIY number 3. For this DIY, I took the larger calendar page off the back of this, and it says "You are enough." And so I'm going to take this picture that was in this little metal frame, and I'm going to take and trim it up to be able to fit into this. Then once I got it inside the frame, I flipped it over, and I'm going to take some of these magnets from the Dollar Tree. I already had these in my stash from another project that I did, but and that little frame came from the Dollar Tree, I don't know how long ago, and I'm not even sure they carry them now. You can take these little magnets and stick it to the back of this. Now, you don't have to glue these down because they will stick on there. But because I didn't want, if you lifted it off the refrigerator or whatever you were sticking it to, I didn't want the magnets to stay behind. So I'm going to hot glue them in place. Then I turned it over and looked at it and thought, well, this needs something else. So I'm going to go around the edge of this with this Dollar Tree lace. Now, this is something that I already had in my stash. After I finish going all the way around this, then I'm going to add the bow, and I'm going to add some other embellishments, and we will see the rest of this at the final reveal. Here we go with DIY number 4. For this DIY, you're going to need this little frame with the beads on it. Now, the Dollar Tree still carries these, but I had this one in my stash. It's been here for a couple of years. And so I'm going to take and pop out that sign on the back, and then I'm going to remove these staples and any other hardware that we don't need at this point. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little frame that I got from the Dollar Tree clearance section for 50 cents. You guys, if you aren't checking out that clearance section, check it out, because there's a lot of things that are in there that you could use for crafting. And I mean, and you see how much I paid for it. It's a lot less. And so what I'm doing is, ooh, I got 2 bicycles out of that one. And so what I'm doing is I'm removing this glass because it was cracked, but that's okay because we don't need it anyway, because we don't need it for this project. And so I'm going to remove all these little metal tabs out of here. And then, now I had this calendar with these roosters on it that I got several months ago for another project. And you guys, if you go to Hobby Lobby in January, they put all their calendars on sale, and so does Joann's as well. And that's where I got this calendar from. Got it back in January. So anyway, I used the calendar for another project, and what I'm doing here is I'm using the bigger piece from the preview side of the calendar pages. Now I used the little square that came out of the box, that frame, and I'm going to put that in back in there. And evidently I glued this the black frame to the Be Kind frame somewhere in there without showing y'all. I am so sorry about that, you guys. You basically, what you do is you take the one frame and you hot glue it with, and put some E6000 on it and glue it together. And then that's why you don't need the glass in it, because you're going to be adding stuff that's going to be sticking out of it. I'm going to add some flowers and stuff to this, and we will see the rest of this at the final reveal. At this time, we'd like to thank our subscribers. We love you bunches, and we appreciate you subscribing to our channel. All right, here we go with DIY number 5. All right, here's a book that you can get from the Dollar Tree, and what I'm going to do is, in my calendar, it had 2 pages that were just alike, and I was like, oh great, this will work. And I wanted to put it on the book with that enjoy the little things showing on the front. So what I did is I figured out where it was going to lay on there. Now I'm going to just scotch tape these 2 pieces of paper together, or these 2 calendar pages. Now one is thicker. The one that I'm putting on the front is a little bit thicker. The one that's going on the back is one of the thinner pages. And I am going to next take the cover that came with the book, and I'm going to lay it on there. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to see where that enjoy the little things are so that I get it right on the center of the front of the book. Now, what I decided to do is leave this cover that came with the book on this the inside of this when I start making it. So what I'm doing here is I'm marking where the center of my 2 pages were that I put together. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to flip everything over, making sure that I have what I want on the front cover in the right place. And then I'm going to actually tape this cover straight to my calendar pages. Now I'm going to use the 2-sided tape from the Dollar Tree. Now this I actually had in my stash from another project that I did, but I am going to lay down several pieces onto the back side of this calendar, and then I'm going to fold over that cover that was originally on the book and stick it down to the back of my calendar pages. And then I'll fold up the sides and add it to my book. Now here is how I folded it onto where it needed to be on my calendar pages, so everything is in the right place. And I'm taking my brayer and pushing this down because that calendar page is pretty thick, and see where I folded up the sides. Now the next thing I'm going to do is take and stick, I'm going to fold up this. Now the one on the back doesn't match up, but the color still helped to get it around the edge of the back of the book. And then I'm going to just place this inside my book. Now I can reuse this book at any time for anything else. And then after I got it done, I realized that it said calendar something something on the front right down there under the little things. And so I decided I need to put a piece of ribbon around it. And I'm going to add some embellishments to it, and we'll see this at the final reveal. Now, this challenge is the DIY challenge 5 under $5. We have to create 5 projects under $5 each. And this month we had to use Dollar Tree decor and to create it. And it's hosted by Misty from Crafty Cove, Emily from Farm Turned Chic, and the guest host is Annalee from Annaleeashbydiy DIY. You guys go check out the description box below because the links to these ladies' channels are in there. Also, there's a link to the playlist, and you want to go check that out because there's some awesome crafters on there, just like me. Now here we go with the final reveal. Alright, y'all, we're back from the craft desk, and didn't these turn out awesome? You guys, if you like this content, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that YouTube notifies you when I post something, and we'll see you in the next episode of the Crafty Art Shack. We'll see you later. Bye!
Hi y'all, it's Charlene from the Crafty Art Shack, and I'm supposed to be doing the end. Hi y'all, it's Charlene, and yeah, I'm from somewhere. Hold on. Think about it, does crafts, and we'd really like to have them do something. I love the rooster, and I love the little chicken, and I'm why did I do that? Alright y'all, give us that big thumbs up, and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll see you in the next episode. See you later. Bye!